back with another weekly preview, AK-47 from Prime Trading Investments and TradeCaster.com. I know it's been about a month or so since I've done one of these. I've been super busy. Great Dane over here, Groot, unfortunately got bone cancer, and the only way to really treat that is to remove the limb. So it's been a last 2-3 weeks, and everyone that's been out there thinking about him and talk and essentially DMing me or asking me about him and messaging me or whatever. Thank you for all the love and all the prayers and thoughts. But my man Groot is good to go. Moving forward, of course, he's got to do chemo and all that stuff. But anywho, back at it. The 16th through the 20th of September. We're halfway through September. And the big day coming up of rate cuts. What's going to happen? We're going to go 0.25%. We're going to go 0.5%. I think that will fluctuate how much more we move. Of course, I think we get crazy moves if it's 0.5 or if they don't actually do anything in the end again. I really high percentage, like most people think they're finally going to do something. I think what they come out whenever they came out and said how many rate cuts we're supposed to have this year was like 4 or 6 or something like that. We've had 0. And so finally getting one is going to really move the market. I say up to new all-time highs. 0.5 I think really takes it up to new all-time highs, and I really think we'll get my 600 I've been talking about before year's end for sure at that point, even regardless of the election, because that's another big thing coming up that could really fluctuate the market, especially the SPY is my point. No rate cuts, I think we just bomb and go downhill crazy. If they all of a sudden come out and say they're not cutting rates again, I think everyone's going to be doing the SpongeBob SquarePants GIF where everyone's running around. It's all the different SpongeBobs running around on fire. It could be like that. In my opinion, we're going to get the 0.25 is most likely the high percentage of what we get. We get the normal push and spike through the all-time highs and go to 570, 75, 580 this week. We'll see. We get 0.5% rate cut. I think we would definitely see 600 by October. So we'll see what we get, but there's my 2 cents on that. If we somehow do get 0.5%, watch for a move to 600 by October-ish. Usually we have a red September into a green October. Most years, it's just how it always is. Well, we started off that way. We started heading down red, and sure enough, as always, boy, the first week of September, right? Everyone's probably going, well, here's our September pullback. Here we go. We're heading back on down. Get ready for dip buys again. Just to head all the way back up this past week. And now with the rate cuts coming in, I feel we go up and then can maintain all-time highs. So even if we do have somehow even more red in September is my point, red days, it's going to be hard after a push that we may continue up this week and then hold this area. And then even defining back from that, I'll go out in a larger time frame or even minutes so I can kind of see everything a little bit more so. So let's go back further than this 10 days. We'll go back like 30 days. I don't think we'd go lower than 540. Now, again, that's if we have no cuts. If we have no cuts, we're heading on down back to the 540s. We'll probably even head back down into the 520s or even maybe the dip back to 500 or so. Let's just go ahead and give you normal levels. Now, again, we'll go with the 0.25 is what everyone expects us to get. And then I'll kind of just give you crazy numbers after that. Normal week, 0.25 on top of the fact, though, right, we get the rate cuts this week. Watch for a squeeze over this all-time high area. And we have these 2 consolidation areas. This one was a little bit shorter. This one's a lot longer. Now we're at it again. So it could be that third touch breakout is what I'd be looking for and kind of justifying right here for you guys. And overall, we'll kind of label this rate cuts. Watch for third touch breakout to new all-time highs over 565. And we roll. So my normal high of the week would be 565. But with rate cuts and it's 0.25, we run to 570, if not 575. If we have 0.5 rate cuts, 0.5%, we run probably to easily 575 this week for my ultimate high of the week, if not around 580 plus, 580 to 585. So normal high of the week, we don't get over it somehow. Ultimate high of the week with the 0.25 rate cuts that are most likely coming, we go to 570, 575. Ultimate high there. 0.5 rate cuts, we go all the way up to 575 minimum, if not 580, 585. Now on the way down, I'd say my normal low of the week would be right around this 555 area down to around 553-ish, 50, right? Ultimate lows would be bad news, and somehow we have a pullback on the 0.25, and people just see this as resistance and we pull back. Watch for a move down to maybe 550 to 548.75 roll. I don't think we'd get all the way back down here unless we just have no rate cuts. They come out, JP comes out, still sporting that purple tie, and says no rate cuts. We will get rate cuts most likely. But if we don't, we're heading back down here for sure this week. We may go even lower. So normal low of the week, 555 to 553.50. If it's for some reason see this as a third touch breakout zone and people don't take it and it's resistance and we pull back on 0.25 for whatever reason, I could see us getting on the 48.75 roll. The only way we get lower than that is if we have no rate cuts and we head back down to this 540 area and maybe even lower. So there are your level for the levels for the SPY this week, and I think that's going to fluctuate a lot of these other large cap plays too as well. So I'm just going to stay in this 4-hour time frame for the time being. Normal high of the week for Apple would be a squeeze back on up to probably 227, maybe to 228.75. We've been a little choppier, not ranging as much. Apple has been recently. Ultimate high of the week with 0.25 rate cuts. We're heading back up to this 233 level, maybe even possible all-time touch at 237.30. 0.5 rate cuts, we're through the roof. We're at all-time highs. You know, we will see easily well over 237.25, if not 240, 245. Now on the way back on down, my normal low of the week, I think you could see pretty obvious right here. We'd start cracking through around the 219, this 220-ish area, then 219. We crack 219, we're heading down to 217.50 to around 216.50. That's normal low of the week right through there. Ultimate low of the week would be a crack back down through for whatever reason, again, with the SPY, and 0.25 has a pullback, and or especially if we have no rate cuts. Watch for a crack back through 216.50, down through 215 to around 212.50. I think we could even see 210s for Apple. AMD, watch for this to finally pop back up, maybe to the high 100s, I guess I should say. You could say, having only been in the 200s once, we would get back in the 200s by October if the SPY does have a 0.5 rate, or we have a 0.5 rate cut and the SPY goes crazy, right? So on the way up, normal high of the week would probably be right around this 158.75 to 160-ish area right through here. Ultimate high of the week with 0.25 rate cuts up to this 166 mark. Super ultimate, we might as well call it that this week. Super ultimate high with 0.5 rate cuts takes it up to 173. Well, we'll go with 171 to 170 at first, but back up to this 172.50, 173 line with maybe even a touch of this 180 line. Now on the way back on down, watch for a crack back under this 147.75 mark for 145, then down to 143. I'll go around 143 for normal low of the week. Your ultimate low of the week with, again, negative result, or, I should say negative, thought process, and we just have a pullback with 0.25, or I know we will with none. Watch for a crack back down through 140, and your ultimate low of the week would land around 138, maybe for a move down to the 135 to 132 area. Pretty much, kind of that low was where we'd go back down to most likely. Amazon, watch for this to move up. Normal high of the week would be this 188.75 resistance. Ultimate high of the week is going to squeeze it up. 0.25 rate cuts to, this is the 0.25 rate cut area, 190.150. 0.5 rate cut territory takes it back up to 195, maybe for a touch back up to 200, and we would set new all-time highs. And any of us, and still with Amazon long term, would be happy. Obviously, any of these plays long term, you'd be happy if we get the 0.5 rate cuts. These plays are just taking off. Normal low of the week would be a crack back down to around through this 183.50 mark, and 182.50 there, right? And then for a move down to this 181.50 mark, then down to 180. 180 normal low of the week. Ultimate low of the week with bad, thoughts, what a reaction, whatever with the 0.25, or we get none. Watch for a move down to 175 to 173, 50-ish area, maybe even a touchdown to 170. Back over to ARM here. I'll say back over, but over to ARM. Normal high of the week. I still think I'm going to stick to this kind of basis of us failing here right towards where we're at resistance, which is right around where we're at now into about 152. You can see at my little crosshairs that's matching up perfectly with other lower and upper shadows. Ultimate high of the week with 0.25s. Rate cuts would take it up to 160 minimum. With 0.5s could easily see 163, then up to this 160, right about right there, 166.85-ish, 167 mark. Your normal low of the week would be a crack back down to this, that big move we made on Friday for a move back down to 141 to 140. I could even see us making a move down to 138.75, maybe the 137 area right here. Under that, bad reaction this week, no rate cuts, whatever. Watch for move down to 133, and below that I could see us getting to about right there of around 128. Over to the Googs. Normal high of the week, you can see we're going to keep going with this kind of the same thought process. 159.50 up to around 161. Over 161 for your 0.25 rate cuts moves it up to 163.25 and then up to 165 to 166. Ultimate, super ultimate high of the week with the 0.5 rate cuts takes it to 167.50, if not 168.75 earlier. It could touch 170. For your move back on down, if we crack back through this 155.66 mark, which was my short I wanted and couldn't wait for it. I think I missed it though this past week, if I'm not mistaken. On Google is a great short opportunity. Would see that same crack back down to around 150. So that'll be my normal low of the week, somewhere right around 151 to 150. Ultimate low of the week, we would see it crash through 150 with no rate cuts to around 145 or so. It would be a good short. Over to Meta, this is looking to go to all-time highs as well, breaking this downtrend here recently. We have that resistance, so that'll be my normal high of the week, this 544 to 545 area. Ultimate high of the week moves to all-time highs with 0.25 rate cuts, takes it up to 550, 555 550 to 555. And then if we have 0.5 rate cuts, watch for a move to, we could go crazy because it'd be at all-time highs. I wouldn't be surprised to see 570. On the way back on down, my normal low of the week, lots of resistance support area right here, 515. Watch for a crack of that down to around 510. That would be my normal low of the week, just because if we crack 515, it's going to get a good pull regardless of what happens in market. Then my ultimate low of the week with negative, reaction, no rate cuts, easily takes it to 500. And if we crack 495, we could crack nice, about like over 545 and see a good tug down to like say 480. Over to Microsoft here. Watch for a move up. Normal high of the week. I know this one's a little bit tighter than others. Some are, some aren't. Right here, 432.50. Ultimate high of the week with 0.5 rate cuts easily takes it to 436.50. Over that, watch for a move up to 440 and around 445 for your normal high of the week. Your ultimate high of the week would take it up to 450, I should say. 448.75, 450. And I think it could even see 452.50. That's even with 0.25s. With 0.5s, I think this could see a move up to 455. It really could get touching close to all-time highs here, really. It depends on what the rate cut is. I'm leaning more toward 0.25. With 0.5, this could go. Forgot to go to the downside just because I very, very rarely, I have very low chances in my thought process and gut and instinct think we're going down, we're going up this week. But to the bottom side, normal lows will be back down to this 420 to 417-ish mark. Ultimate lows would be a magnet down to this 412 with no rate cuts down to 400. Maybe even lower, honestly. We'll see. That no rate cuts would, I think, scare a lot of people. Not scare them, but people just freak out and there'd be a big sell-off for a week or two. At least a weekish. Watch over this 120 level. NVDA, can we finally go to all-time highs in this downtrend that we're in? I'll go with normal high of the week. Watch for a pop up to 123.50 and really just into that downtrend. Normal high of the week, not getting over that downtrend. 0.25 rate cuts surges through to 130 and we're finally above it and staying above it. And then we head up to around 135 to 137. We only hit 141. That's super high of the week. We go to new all-time highs and hit that if we have 0.5 rate cuts. And probably get to like 150 even, honestly. Well, we could, yeah, by Friday, because I think the rate cuts are on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it gives us a good amount of time to really go crazy, and it really just depends on what we do on Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday could be slow, and I did forgot to mention that at first. We'll see. With a lot of people sitting on their hands leading into that. 110 to 108, normal low of the week. Ultimate low of the week takes it back down to 101-ish area. If not for a move back down, I know it's hard to see here. My volume candles are in the way. But for a move back down into the 90s like we got back in July, which was a great dip for NVDA. Over to the Qs, kind of the same thing for the SPY. A little bit different, though, as far as going to all-time highs. This area got a little higher here most recently. But I would still say easily normal high of the week 485 to around 487-ish area, somewhere through here. Once you staircase your way up over 477, 478.20 area, right? And then there's 479. Anyway, yada, 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 and staircase your way up. 486 to 487 would be your normal high of the week. Ultimate high of the week with 0.25 rate cuts takes it to 490. Over that to 493.50, and most likely a touch up to 505. With 0.5 rate cuts will make all-time high. Not crazy like SPY or some of these plays. about like NVDA, where we'd set all-time high, but nothing like where we're going too far over it. On the way back down, your normal low of the week would be a crack back through 470, this 467.50-ish area, down to around 465. Under that, then you're down to the low 460s. I would say and easily could make your way down to 459, if not this 457.80 area. That'd be your normal low of the week, kind of, so to speak. With no rate cuts, you're for surely coming back to where this bounce came from, a 446, 445 area, and could even see overall, like I said, this crazy pull back down like on, like NVDA had back into late July. Over to SMCI, this may hurt, make or break this for as well. This is kind of one of those plays that has really had a huge run up, as you can tell. Now it's meandered back down, then had the bad news last month. On this uptrend channel, like a lot of plays are though last week, so this is going to make or break this play. No rate cuts, this play plummets back down through to 350 easily. Normal low of the week would probably be right around this 410 to 400 area. We might dip back in below 400, but I doubt it. Cracking that trend, you just say a normal week without the rate cuts. I can see this trend cracking and getting down to around 410, if not 400. Maybe a dip into the 300s again. On the way up, got to get over 475, and once we do, my normal high of the week takes it up to this 500 low right here, that real big lower shadow we made that day in the big reversal, which was crazy. That'd be my normal high of the week. Ultimate high of the week takes it back through 500 with 0.25 rate cuts easily to this 530, 525 area, if not up to 550. And then with maybe 0.5 rate cuts, this thing could even see a move up to 600, to be honest. Last but not least here, Tesla. Here, let's zoom out just a tad bit more. Tesla here in this kind of uptrend channel. You can see here recently, top resistance line. You kind of mark it in right about somewhere through here just because it'd match up. But you can almost see old support is now the old new resistance area. So that would be it, working your way up to the trend line right here. And so I doubt we crack that uptrend channel unless it's we get no rate cut. So my normal low of the week would be somewhere right around 218. My ultimate low of the week would be cracking that trend back to this 208 to 210 area. And under that, we could see a dip down to around 202, 200s or so. Maybe even the dip we saw in July, like I've said with a lot of these plays, that could be in reach with no rate cuts. We could see a huge, crazy sell-off. That's just what I'm feeling. Over 233 to 234. And I'm going to call that my normal high of the week. We'd trend and channel in that, but with 0.25 rate cuts, we break out of it, go to 238, 237 area. Over at that, we fly to 241, 242, 243, and then up to this 247, somewhere in this would be my ultimate high of the week with 0.25 rate cuts. Super ultimate high with 0.5 rate cuts, we'd see a move back up in the 260, 270 area, somewhere in there. So that's my kind of thoughts. The main things really overall would be kind of watch for the first 2 days, maybe Monday and Tuesday of this week, to be a little bit slower possibly as we head into, that. Other than that, we're going to move 100%, especially come Wednesday at the end of the day, come later in the day, Thursday and Friday. And again, my thought process and sentiment to this is 0.25s, we have a really good week and we surge up. 0.5, we really go flying. And then if we have none, it's a big pullback and sell off. Until next time, that's your morning or your weekly previews, I should say. Sign up for those weekly morning alerts if you want to over at Prime Trading Investments. Of course, been doing one-on-ones for over 3 years now. Been doing the morning alerts for over a year now. I've helped out people in chat, make well over $250,000 in the past year. So it's been really awesome to see the stories of traders in chat making money off my alerts and paying off bills and whatever the stuff that they have going on in their own life. So if you need any help, sign up for those morning alerts. All I'm doing every morning is breaking down small caps to the dot for the most part every day of what to go long and, of course, short, what I'm trading with targets, and then giving you large cap plays with targets, levels on the way up, on the way down, where to go, what to trade at the opening bell, 15, 20 alerts minimum every single morning, leading you, through the pre-market, getting you ready for the opening bell from small cap to large cap. See you next time, team.